Perfecte oksels bestaan niet. Met stoppeltjes of vlekjes, geschoren of behaard. Ze zijn allemaal mooi en uniek.
Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care. Onze zachtste formule ooit. Zelfs na het scheren. Beschermt nu nog langer. Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care.
Sorry kids, je gaat je ouders vaker tegenkomen. Becel, rijk aan omega-3.
Jij kiest hoe je je geld besteedt. Wij zorgen dat het over de hele wereld aankomt. Alsof je het naar je buren stuurde. Ook voor een zachte landing van je kind in de echte wereld kun je op ons rekenen. Revolut is een digitale bank die je dagelijks leven makkelijker maakt. Download nu de app.
Nu palmolievrij. Becel, blijf hard gaan.
That is one of the most ridiculous catches we have seen in a long time.
Oh, he caught that with one hand?
It's ridiculous, dude. It's catch of the year. Are you kidding me with that catch?
Look. One hand. One hand.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
No score, the Chiefs and the Jaguars. Last time Jacksonville opened the season 2-0, 2018. They eventually went 5-11 that year. Won their first division title last season, first since 2017, their fourth all-time. Kansas City has dominated the AFC West year in and year out. On first down, Mahomes, pump and throw, knock away. Andre Cisco gets over there. Watson, the intended receiver, got to get it if you're Andre Cisco.
Oh, yes, and a beautiful read by Andre Cisco coming from the deep safety position. All he needed to do was catch it. He elevated, ball was a little high, and it docked it away from Justin Watson, but a really nice read by Cisco all over that one. And Kansas City's got to think about running the football a little bit more, especially with Pacheco in the early going.
Fake it, throw underneath. Sky Moore gets wrapped up immediately after picking up 7 yards. Rayshon Jenkins, the veteran, over there to make sure Moore didn't turn it upfield. Starting offense for Kansas City. We mentioned at the top of the show, 2 new tackles. We'll get into the Jawan Taylor chatter from last week, Charles, because it's rare that you get that much talk regarding an offensive lineman. Yeah.
Plenty of conversation, wasn't there? All over the league.
A lot of questions regarding his formation last week. Mahomes on the move. First down throw. It's complete to Toney. Secures it. And Kadarius Toney ducks out of bounds. It's a first down.
And you notice who were the last 2 passes to for Mahomes? Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney. 2 guys who struggled in the season opener against Detroit. You mentioned chatter about Jawan Taylor. How about the chatter around Kansas City about the young receivers who couldn't hold on to the football? How do you get them going? Andy Reid told us you got to make sure we keep feeding them the football. 13-yard game there for Toney. Make sure they keep touching it and keep giving them opportunities to grow.
Another quick hitter. It's Toney. Oh, what a zigzag move by Toney. And he takes it into Jacksonville territory. We asked Andy Reid about Toney. He said, get him on the horse. He catches everything at practice. He'll be fine. Same feelings in regards to Sky Moore.
And how about this? Not only do you get the ball out to Toney, he gets a little help from his friends. There's Noah Gray, 83. Sky Moore, 24, that you just mentioned. Look at the blocks right there. That allows him to split them and then cut inside Oluokun to make a big play for Kansas City.
17-yard pickup. Mahomes to throw it. Delivers. Incomplete. Kelsey The intended target with Rayshawn Jenkins there. NFL Today update. We send it to New York. JB.
A Garoppolo pick leads to this.
Yeah, how about this there, Charles Davis? And Tavius Murray with a little bit of a running start. 4 yards out, finishes that drive. Terrell Bernard on the interception. Vegas 7, Buffalo 7.
Well, I guess Coach Cowher set up Charles on that one.
And Coach Cowher, was that a straight-ahead running play for the Buffalo Bills? How about that?
2nd down and 10 for the Chiefs. Fake it. Well placed. They are featuring Tony. He won't go down on first contact. And now Tony fighting for the first down. 11 yards. Kadarius Toney on the catch and run.
And you and I talked about this coming into the ball game, that Kansas City had a number of things they were going to need to accomplish in this one. Probably their priority. For me, running the football a little bit more with Pacheco. For them, making sure these young receivers get a little confidence going, able to catch the football in a real game. And Tony getting his confidence elevated here in the early going.
Kelsey now on the sideline for Kansas City. Chiefs are on the move inside the 40. Fake it, sling it. Boy, it was up in the air off the tip. Valdez-Scantling, the intended target, and then it was a free-for-all. Jacksonville nearly had position.
I think it's Devin Lloyd, number 33, the second-year linebacker. There it is, because if he doesn't get a hand in there and Valdez-Scantling catches that on the move and on the run, boom. Arm angles for Patrick Mahomes. We'll see a variety of them trying to get it to his receivers. If that one whistles through, Valdez-Scantling's off to the races.
They've had one running play thus far. 9 passes for Kansas City. 2nd and 10. Mahomes dump off underneath. Pacheco trying to avoid the tacklers. Cannot, as he leans forward to pick up a yard. That's it. Trey Herndon helping out on the outside for Jacksonville. So we are under 6 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Andy Reid's team went 14-3 last season. They had losses to Indianapolis, Buffalo, and Cincinnati. Mahomes operating on a 3rd down. He's got McKinnon in there. Mahomes flushed, throws on the move, and hits his man. Flag down. Kelsey, the target. Penalty marker back at the 45-yard line. And it's coming back.
Holding offense. Number 79. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
And it's Donovan Smith who won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers.
And he's had a lot of holding calls in his career. And here comes another one. See Smith right there, grabbing and maneuvering Josh Allen, number 41. Watch right there in the middle. And you see that right hand on the 4-1 of the Jacksonville defender.
So back it up. Line of scrimmage is out near midfield now. And it's 3rd and 20 for Kansas City. Mahomes dials it up underneath. Looking for a chunk play from McKinnon. Spin move. And he takes it to the 37. That's where Devin Lloyd and company are there to greet him. Gain of 11 for KC.
And Harrison Butker has a big leg, and Kansas City might trust him in certain situations. But here, the way their defense is playing early, they bring out Tommy Townsend, try and pin it deep. Put 2 inside the 10 in the season opener against Detroit.
Townsend had a 50-yard punt in his first attempt. And he is in a battle with Trevor Lawrence with those flowing locks. Would have been a 55-yard attempt for Butker.
Think they'll have a hair off?
Yeah, halftime hair off. Looking for the corner. You can't do it any better. Truly. Perfectly executed by Kansas City on the play, with Watson getting downfield. Jacksonville is pinned at its own 2.
Perfecte oksels bestaan niet. Met stoppeltjes of vlekjes, geschoren of behaard. Ze zijn allemaal mooi en uniek.
Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care. Onze zachtste formule ooit. Zelfs na het scheren. Beschermt nu nog langer. Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care.
Fame Parfum, the new fragrance by Rabanne.
Je wilt vooruit gaan, zonder dat de wereld achteruit gaat. Sta daarom even stil. Is een nieuwe telefoon wel echt nodig? Geef je telefoon een langer leven. Recycle, reuse, repair, reduce. Vodafone helpt je daarbij. Want wie vandaag iets kleins kan doen, kan morgen een groot verschil maken. Together we can. Vodafone.
Anybody really want me to do the Uber first?
Red. Uh-oh.
What was the penalty? Holding 99 defense.
Oh! Ow! Ow!
Hey, that was gonna be dangerous. You know that, right?
I know. Oh, I got you so good. Oh! I got you!
Stream the NFL on CBS Live all season long on Paramount Plus. Try it free at ParamountPlus.com/NFL.
Now, and you mentioned how soupy it is out here with this weather. Watch the defensive fronts and see how much they rotate guys to try and help them out, get some rest.
Etienne trying to hammer it inside, and he picks up 2 yards on the play. Jaguars have been the NFL's version of Drake, starting from the bottom and then working their way up. Worst record in the NFL, back-to-back years. And then last year, the breakthrough 9-8 record. They got hot at the end of the season to make the playoffs, win a game, come from behind, miraculous win over the Chargers, and then the loss in the divisional round to the eventual champs.
And if they win the division again, go back to the playoffs, you will see Drake, because he attaches to people who are winning. If you're winning, Drake shows up. He'll be around.
Shotgun for Lawrence, throwing out of his own end zone. It's complete. So working along the sideline to Dearness Johnson for 9 yards. That's going to alleviate the pressure and now move the chains.
And one way to alleviate the pressure as a quarterback is make the right step in the pocket and make a nice throw, and that's exactly what Trevor Lawrence did. Pressure was in his face. Chris Jones making himself known early in this one. But he finds a way to get the ball out there to Dearness Johnson, who powers his way for just enough for a first down.
Etienne in the backfield. First down at the 13-yard line with under 3 minutes to go in the first. Etienne, that hole closed up quickly. He's limited to a gain of 1 on the play. We asked Doug Peterson about this matchup, and oftentimes coaches will tell you, hey, it's another game on the schedule. Doug leaned into it and said, look, I told the guys, it's a benchmark game. You want to see if you've arrived, and you want to see how you measure up against the best.
Absolutely. I love exactly what he said. He asked the team, are we worthy of the conversation we're getting right now? We'll find out come Sunday.
2nd and 9. Kirk sets up in the slot. Full receiver set. Lawrence rifles it off the hands of Ingram. Incomplete. Let's check in with Evan.
And guys, I found Doug Peterson incredibly self-aware in our conversation, because he added that one silver lining to that divisional round loss was it didn't create a false sense of what they were. He realized, having been to the mountaintop, that this team, while they got hot, they weren't exactly that, and he feels like they're still building it early this year.
What a great point. Don't arrive before you're actually ready for it. Although, let's face it, if they ran all the way to the Super Bowl, he wouldn't have turned it down. But he was saying this team wasn't quite ready for that yet, and now they know they've still got to fight and scratch and claw to get back there.
3rd and 9, Kansas City crowds the line. Lawrence has a clean pocket, delivers down the sideline. Dropped on the bobble. It looked like Ridley was there, and a penalty marker is down at the 31-yard line.
I wonder if Ridley stepped out of bounds and was the first to touch it coming back in.
It feels that way.
That's where the flag is. Two things. That.
Unless
First down.
So they're calling it. They must be calling Snead for the push past 5 yards.
Correct.
That's what they had to get him for, was the pushing on Ridley past 5 yards. And he stumbled, Ian. Otherwise, I think he's still able to come up with the catch. You notice how he stumbled late after the push from Snead? That affected his ability to catch the football as well.
So it's a spot foul. They will line it up at the 25-yard line with 2:01 to go here in the first.
Well, he was out of bounds, was because Snead pushed him.
Jaguars started last season 2-6, had a 5-game losing streak in there. They were just trying to figure things out. Peterson just loved the way they played through adversity. There's nothing there for ETN. Kansas City swarms to the ball. Chanel leading the way, no gain on the play for Jacksonville.
And I think Matt Dickerson really made the play to start off, number 93. Watch inside and watch how he gets into the backfield. Do you see that? And now he's pushed it and he's strung it out, which allows Chanel to get out front. And as he turns it back inside, here comes Drew Tranquil, who had an excellent year last year at the Los Angeles Chargers, had 146 tackles, wasn't finding much playing time early. Steve Spagnuolo told me, I got to get him on the field a little bit more. And there's one good reason why.
Lawrence facing a 2nd and 10 play clock, winding down once again. Just get the play off. Lawrence massages it to the outside, and Ingram short of the first down, but on the spot for the tight end, and Justin Reed, the safety, with a tackle. It's a gain of 8.
And so now what do you do if you're Kansas City about coverages, about which receiver you're going to go to? Normally you're going to want to double Calvin Ridley. But Christian Kirk out of the slot had a big season last year and only caught 1 ball last week against Indianapolis. He's hungry for opportunities this week.
Going to use another receiver, Tim Jones, 3rd year out of Southern Miss, has been on the practice squad for Jacksonville in the past. He's now out there. Kirk, the motion man, is going to shift to the backfield with Dearness Johnson. A lot of movement there, trying to work it, and getting stamped is Kirk. Jalen Watson with a big hit. They needed a couple of yards. They didn't get it.
And they designed that strictly for Kirk to try and slip him out. But what a read by Jalen Watson, who didn't get confused by any of the other action in the backfield, stays with his assignment. What's that word you used? Stamped. That's delivered all the way back, and it looks like now Jacksonville thinking about going for it.
Doug Peterson, decision here as time runs out on the first quarter, so they lined up and they'll have some time to think about it as we go to the second. Expecting a shootout? We've got no score. Kansas City and Jacksonville. The second quarter is coming up. Week 2 of the NFL on CBS, and 2 teams that have some dreams of getting to Super Bowl 58.
Perfecte oksels bestaan niet. Met stoppeltjes of vlekjes, geschoren of behaard. Ze zijn allemaal mooi en uniek.
Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care. Onze zachtste formule ooit. Zelfs na het scheren. Beschermt nu nog langer. Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care.
Stop. Dat geeft ruimte. De Baak. Training, ontwikkeling, leiderschap.
Vergeet je vrienden je altijd terug te betalen? Met Revolut vermijd je die vervelende gesprekken. Betaal als een local en vergeet hoge wisselkoersen. Revolut is een digitale bank die je dagelijks leven makkelijker maakt. Download nu de app.
Wil je ook ruimte om te groeien? Bekijk onze leiderschapstrainingen op debaak.nl.
Kelsey making his 2023 debut. Last week missing action because of the knee injury. Chiefs fell to Detroit 21-20. Jacksonville facing a 4th down. Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. Logan Cook, the punt. Richie James. Oh, he drops the ball. Jacksonville's got it. James couldn't secure it, and Tim Jones does for the Jaguars. A huge gaffe to start the second quarter.
Richie James ran into issues like this last year with the New York Giants, had a really rough game up in Seattle, and ended up losing his job as the punt returner. I don't know if he lost it in the sun because his hands didn't get to it. That ball hit his shoulder pads and helmet without his hands getting there. But he lost his job for a while in New York before regaining it, and the troubles continue here in Kansas City.
So Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars are going to get a crack at it here.
I wonder if you take a shot right now with Calvin Ridley. See if you can find some type of coverage to give him a shot at the end zone on a momentum type of a play.
No score, Chiefs and Jaguars. Lawrence on a give. Etienne falls forward for 3. Brought down by Chanel. You alluded to it. James, yep. He just looked up there again. It's still out there, the sun.
And you see that shadow right there. He's looking left. The ball ends up hitting him on his right side, so he doesn't pick it up at all coming out of the sky. Gonna have to work on it. You notice how he used his hand to shield there to show us? Shield there like that when you're back there as a punt returner before you bring your hands up.
False.
So Doug Peterson, along with his offensive coordinator, Press Taylor, collaborative affair. Taylor has taken on the majority of the play calling duties. Last year, Peterson said, yeah, I used to call the plays in the first half, and then Press would take over in the second half. It really is a team effort.
It really is, and he's been grooming him for this role. Press Taylor was with him in Philadelphia as well, and now for him to grow, gives him a chance to call it full time.
2nd and 12. Fake it. Lawrence, step, now going to run. Slides down at the 15-yard line. Willie Gay helped make sure he didn't get extra yards. It's a 5-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd down now for Jacksonville.
And what a nice job by Lawrence, recognizing that the play he wanted was taken away by Kansas City, tucking it and going right up into the teeth of the defense and picking up 5 yards. He wanted to throw after the fake left. He wanted to throw it right on the swing. That was taken away, tucked it, and ran. Nice presence.
So the line of scrimmage is now the 14. 5 defensive backs here for Kansas City. Trying to take advantage of excellent field position. Lawrence floats it back in the end zone. Zay Jones! No touchdown. He was out in the back of the end zone trying to snag it.
Jim Quirk, the side judge, all over this one. Watch the first foot. There, and possibly out as well, but the second one doesn't come down at all as he's defended there by number 22, Trent McDuffie.
So left foot.
Potentially, because we couldn't see whether he got to the white or not, potentially in, the second one not.
And a chip shot here for the veteran Brandon McManus, the field goal. First points of the day as Jacksonville takes a 3-0 lead on Kansas City. Second quarter action continues.
Perfecte oksels bestaan niet. Met stoppeltjes of vlekjes, geschoren of behaard. Ze zijn allemaal mooi en uniek.
Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care. Onze zachtste formule ooit. Zelfs na het scheren. Beschermt nu nog langer. Probeer de nieuwe Dove Advanced Care.
Vergeet je vrienden je altijd terug te betalen. Met Revolut vermijd je die vervelende gesprekken. Betaal als een local. en vergeet hoge wisselkoersen. Revolut is een digitale bank die je dagelijks leven makkelijker maakt. Download nu de app.
Dit blik vult Francesco Muti met uitsluitend Muti-tomaten. Geteeld onder de Italiaanse zon en verwerkt in minder dan 24 uur na de oogst. Zo wordt de optimale smaak behouden. Hij is daarin zo veelijzend dat als de oogst niet perfect is, dit blik leeg blijft. Solo Pomodoro, Solo Muti.
Anybody really want me to do the Uber first?
Red. Uh-oh.
What is the penalty? Holding 99 defense.
Oh! Ow! Ow!
Hey, that was going to be dangerous. You know that, right?
I know.
Oh, I got you so good. Oh! I got you!
Kansas City has won 7 straight against Jacksonville. They haven't trailed in any of the previous 5 meetings. They trail now 3-0, Jaguars in front.
But this rivalry is not an extended, right, every year get after each other. But in recent times, was this their 3rd meeting in 308 days? It's flared up, hasn't it? And Kansas City did not blow out Jacksonville in either game last year, beating them by 10 the first time and 7 the second.
Right now, let's take a look at Next Gen Stats powered by AWS.
Take a look at what Jacksonville does with a 4-person rush. The 3rd highest pressure rate with a 4-man rush over the last 2 seasons. Number 1s and 2, Philadelphia and Dallas. And look, they show more people up there, but ultimately it's 4 people getting after it, which allows you 7 in the secondary to cover, which means there's more time for the pass rushers to get there. That was over 5 seconds, and Josh Allen got home.
Running game has been non-existent so far for Kansas City. Play action. Mahomes will throw it downfield too high. Looking for Sky Moore, who's 5'10", incomplete. Mahomes is now 7 of 12 for 64 yards. Coverage from Tyson Campbell, who had an interception and a forced fumble last week against Indy.
That secondary is coming along for Jacksonville. And a couple quick observations here. Kansas City trying their best to get these young receivers involved, starting to do so. And Jacksonville's pass rush, not letting Mahomes set up easily in the pocket, trying to get him off the spot on every throw.
Kelsey looking for his first catch. Mahomes looks in that direction. Now he's going to run. There's room for Mahomes, puts a move on, and he's got a first down. Out across the 35, eventually hit by Rayshawn Jenkins. That's a gain of 11 for the birthday boy, Patrick Mahomes.
And their leading rusher against Detroit in the season opener at 45 yards, running it there with a long of 16. I know they'd really like to get other people going, but right now the priority for Kansas City certainly appears to be throwing the football, getting all these receivers involved. Maybe they come back with Pacheco a little bit later. I think they need to run it a little bit more.
Mahomes hooks a pass towards the sideline, hits Rashee Rice, the rookie from SMU, for 5 yards. NFL Today update, JB, Coach Cowher.
An 81-yard beauty.
A beauty being this punt return right here, an offense that really needed a spark. Who they turned to? Charlie Jones, a.k.a. Chuck Sizzle. That's who he is. 81 yards, gets Cincinnati on the board, and they tie Baltimore 7-7.
And we've got our own Chuck in the booth, along with Ian and Evan.
I'm putting that in my notes. He is to be known as Chuck Sizzle from here on out. Jerick McKinnon gets bottled up. Trayvon Walker over there. Walker, the #1 overall pick in the 22 draft out of Georgia. Big, long, good speed, and certainly a candidate for a breakout year.
Take a look at what happens on that side of the line of scrimmage. Because look at the leakage. And then on the backside, that allowed Trayvon Walker to come in and clean up. So the front side holding well, the backside leaks a little bit, and Trayvon Walker gets there.
It's a dime package here for Jacksonville. 3rd and 7 for Kansas City. Shotgun. Mahomes has the time and rips one downfield to Justin Watson. Loses the ball at the end of the play. Jaguars jump on it, and they've got it. Oluokun on the recovery for the Jags. None of this is going according to script for the Chiefs.
And he's trying to get the extra yardage, and the ball is popped out because if his forearm was down, he was down. But he used a hand to keep himself elevated. He's still alive at that point. Watch the left hand go down, the knee's up as the ball gets popped out. If his forearm is down, he's down, and that's not a fumble. Nice job by Oluokun. They'll take a look at it, but it certainly appeared like he was up because of the left hand. Watch the left hand right there. Was the knee down when he popped out? That's what they're going to take a look at.
Darius marker. So it's Kelsey on the unsportsmanlike conduct to add insult to injury after the cough-up. Kelsey upset. Kansas City out of sorts in this first half.